Having a budget or budgeting is not simply about having money left over. It is the locations where your saved money goes to. There are at least 4 different locations. 2 of them are absolutely crucial for your wealth building. And this area and field of having a budget, this is the number one thing in wealth building, in personal finance. Because if you don't get the handle of this or handle this, then no amount of income is going to be enough, and neither will be any amount of wealth that you might have acquired. What budgeting is on its core, it is the control of the flow of your income. I don't think it is a coincidence that both in the Finnish language and in English, like in English the word currency has the word current in it, and also in Finnish language. You see, money flows. Income flows always to somewhere. And in this field of having a budgeting, there are 2 aspects to this. 2 things. First is the control of your spending, and then the other one is these locations where your extra money goes to, flows to. All of us have income. And of course, the biggest locations for your income, the flow of your income goes to, is of course spending. It is housing, food, electricity, hamburgers, you name it. And usually when somebody speaks about budgeting, they are talking about this, the control of your spending. Like on YouTube, when somebody speaks of budgeting, it's always how to save money and tips on how to save money. And that's fine. That is the first thing. But the second, the locations where your saved money goes to, well, these are in order, and in English we use the word bucket. In Finland we don't use that because then people will think about free buckets being shared somewhere. It's a silly thing. But we use the word in English bucket. So these are in order: your safety bucket, growth bucket, your target saving bucket, and your dream bucket. Bucket with a B. Seem to get that wrong. So your safety bucket is meant to bring financial security, especially in the short term. It has an emergency fund that is meant to cover smaller emergencies like your car breaking down. And then your safety bucket also has 3 to 12 months of current spending saved. 6 months is usually a good number. And that is what I call your personal unemployment bucket or account. And that bucket also has your house. When you are paying your mortgage, the principal capital that you're paying, that also goes to your safety, financial safety bucket. Just as all payments of consumer loans also goes to that. So the next one is your growth bucket. And this is what allows you to truly to build wealth. This is the one that has that compound interest. This is what makes you money while you sleep. Especially it means having mutual funds. But also, for instance, investment apartments, if you are into that. But the point is your growth bucket, the goal of your growth bucket is to make you financially independent. This is the major goal and milestone of personal finance. That your growth bucket, at least when you go into retirement, will be so large that you will be able to live out of that growth bucket. That is the purpose of it. So, but what about the next two ones? So the third one is your, what I would call target saving bucket or account. Well, that is that when you buy something expensive or when you make a larger purchase, then you budget for it and you save the money before you buy it. And it has two functions. First is to avoid debt. That you're not taking consumer payments, you're not taking debt, you are buying it with cash, with earned money. And what that also creates is that when you buy with the money you have earned beforehand, then you make sure that you get the best value for your money. Because the human mind, it treats debt like it is wealth. It is a strange function of the mind. I have my own video about that. So that is one purpose of your target saving bucket. And then your dream bucket has the same purpose, but in a bigger scale, and that is more important. And your dream bucket, bucket, that is your dream. It can be a fancy, silly car, a big house. It is your dream. And once again, it serves the same purpose, that when you buy your dream, you are buying it with money, with wealth, because a dream bought with depth it's not the same dream as if you buy your dream with actual wealth. A dream bought with depth, it's not on solid foundation, let's call it that. And that's it. That are the locations of your income, spending, and those 4 locations of wealth. So budgeting is that you pre-assign the locations of the flow of your income before you get that income, before you get that paycheck. And then you make sure that the money flows to those predetermined places. And that's it. But of course, if you wonder about amounts and numbers, exactly how much should go to each bucket, well, that depends on your life situation and your, wealth situation. Because if you don't have any wealth on your financial security bucket, then you need to save it up as soon as possible. Because if you don't have any wealth on your safety bucket, then no consumption is really worth it not to have it on your financial security bucket. And once you have saved up that financial security bucket, then you start sending money to growth bucket and all those others. And that's it. Of course, at some point, you will have to start taking money from your growth bucket. That is the whole purpose of it. And ideally, you start taking money out of your growth bucket when you are financially independent. And a good main rule is the 4% rule, that you can take 4% out of your growth bucket without endangering the capital itself. And this you would do, or you would at least have the amount of money that you could live with that 4% in your growth bucket at the time when you go into retirement and become a pensioner, at least. And that was it. Said the best I can with the Finnish accent that I have. And if you are interested in hearing, if you watched this video so far, and if you're interested in hearing more of this basics of basics about personal finance, please like, share, and subscribe. Because there are, even though YouTube is full of this kind of basics video, although I noticed that there are quite few of these very basics videos. And there are a lot of things that I could do, so if you want to hear that, please do comment and subscribe. But after this video, at least you cannot tell that you did not know the locations where the flow of your money should go to. And that was the point of this video. And this is Radio Heikkala. Thank you for watching.